Howdy, it's Fernbark. It's November 8th. It's, oh, I don't know, like 7:30 in the morning. Um, I'm just kind of out of it at the moment because I just had something like super bad happen. But first, I just want to say sorry for spamming all the Milwaukee tool videos recently. That's just what the product fairy delivered, and so that's what I had to put out at the moment. It's a beautiful day up here. People are out fishing on the water. Ooh, sorry about that. And I was really going to plan on having a real productive and happy day. I left the lid on the Apocalypse box open during Washington's record-setting rain month. It was actually filled to the brim with water. So I already jerked out my cheapy Chinese charge controller, and I took out my really nice expensive Xantrex 1000-watt inverter. I have no idea if the batteries are shot or not. I'm going to try to rescue the charge controller and the inverter. They're probably toast though. They got some pretty bad corrosion starting on them already, so I don't know. I have to give it a try though. But yeah, I mean, I'm just sick in my stomach right now. You have no idea. I don't understand how I could have left the box open though, because the extension cord to the inverter was unplugged. So if I unplugged the extension cord, I usually shut the inverter off and lock everything up. So I don't understand how I unplugged it but then didn't finish locking everything up. I don't know. It's puzzling. I guess it just means I'll have to get my shit together and get this hunk of material working, which is not doing me any good, not connected to anything. So I'm just so depressed right now, I can't even hardly stand it. Left my little cooler in the shed for a week. It's a little damp and it's already started to friggin' mold. God dang it. Same thing with my gloves. Well, that's too close, but yeah, I gotta take those home and wash them. So these are the poles for a Shelter Logic, kind of a cheapy car shelter carport thing. And I bought this like 5 years ago, put it over my Jeep. And I decided I'm going to go ahead and set it up and store my firewood underneath it so it's got a chance to dry out. And as luck would have it, these directions that you see right here, I printed those out. The instructions and the part numbers are still the same today as when I bought it. So yeah, pretty sweet. Alright, things are progressing, but nothing quite as much fun as assembling something on uneven terrain that's wet and filled with leaves and the instructions don't quite match up. Yeah, I'm having just the best day ever. Alright, I just got to pretty much level that out and then make the decision, try to put the original cover back on it, but that cover is in pretty sorry shape. It's pretty ripped up and it's been out in the weather for, geez, probably 6 years. So I think since I'm not really needing like a super watertight, it just got to deflect the rain, I'm just going to throw a tarp over the top. Alright, there was a little bit of swearing as I cut through those roots, but once I got through those, digging got a little easier, so wasn't too bad trying to get this leveled out. Still not perfect, but it's better than it was. It's actually a pretty flimsy structure. Got enough pieces for a second one. I'll have to think about putting it together. I don't know. It wasn't that bad actually once I got it figured out. I've actually assembled this thing like 5 times and took it apart and rebuilt it somewhere else, so I'm kind of getting used to it. So because I haven't had enough bad news today, I'm just going to go ahead and try this Wise Savory Stroganoff. I'm not a real big fan of their products, or at least the 1 or 2 that I tried previously. Good news is this one was actually made in July of this year, so if you're buying these for long-term storage, you're getting a fairly new product. I'm trying to find what the date is, expiration date is on here, but I can't find it. So to spruce it up, I'm going to add in 12 ounces of fully cooked roast beef, or should we say 5 ounces of roast beef and 7 ounces of liquid. And I'm looking through the ingredient list, and whoever put this together used their entire chemistry set. Surprisingly bland. It doesn't taste bad, it's just bland. Usually this kind of stuff's like super salty, but it's not. It's just like noodles in a white something. Alright, here's one of the victims. You can see we're getting a little bit of corrosion right there. The camera's not really picking up quite as gooky as it is. It actually, well, now it actually doesn't look that bad today. It looked, I think, a little worse yesterday with water pouring out of it. My charge controller, though, looks pretty bad. I don't know if I can get enough light in there, but yeah, it's pretty gooked up. Anyhow, I'm going to find some tiny screwdrivers, take them apart, and see how bad it is. So for those of you who aren't tech savvy, this little area is what is known as fucked. Yeah, I don't think there's any buff in this turd. Good lord. Look at that. Oh. This is not looking good either. This also has a term. It's double fucked. So here's something kind of interesting. These are the fasteners out of the Xantrex, and they're, with the exception of a few of them, they're all non-ferrous. Well, this is ferrous, so it's sticking to the thing. But the fasteners for the tracer are all ferrous, and they're corroding. So if you have one of these cheap Chinese MPT charge controllers, or maybe even not MPT, you might consider taking some kind of product to spray on those so they don't corrode up on you. And also, don't submerge them for a week.